Hari Om to all the Atmajyotis, divine light of the self, and pranams to the holy feet of my Sadguru, Shri Prabhuji. I have been given the topic Nataka Deepika, the witness consciousness, to speak about. This Nataka Deepika is taken from the scripture Panchadashi, written by Swami Vidyaranya. Before speaking about Nataka Deepika, let us look into what this witness consciousness is all about. All of us are familiar with the word witness. This is mostly used in the courtroom where a witness is brought at the witness stand in the court. The witness is the one narrate the flow of events as they happen without his or her intervention or judgment and without taking anybody's side. And the witness is not involved in that particular incident also, meaning the witness is not a part of the incident but is outside of the incident. In the same way, let us try to understand witness consciousness. In Vedanta, the witness or the sakshi is the same as awareness consciousness. I would like to take the reference from the text Drik Drishya Viveka by Sri Shankaracharya. We see an object through our eyes. Object can be anything. It can be a thing, a human being, the world, animal, etc. Eyes are the seer and the object is the seen. Who knows that eyes are seeing? It's the mind. So, the mind is the seer and eyes are the seen. Now, here comes the witness who is watching the mind. Who knows about the activities of the mind? Sometimes the mind says, I am happy. Sometimes the mind says, I am unhappy. Who knows all this? It's the observer of the mind, which is the witness. It's the observer of the thoughts in the mind. And witness is beyond the mind. Now, coming to the consciousness. All of us know about it, or rather, all of us are conscious or aware of, and we are the conscious beings. Are we all human beings? We are beings in human form. Being is the consciousness or awareness. It's the aliveness. Now I will ask a question. Are we the body, mind, intellect? All of us identify ourselves with the form and we recognize other fellow human beings also in the form. In Vedanta, this wrong identification is referred to as an error. Why does this happen? The consciousness needs a reflecting surface to light up any object, and mind is one such reflecting surface. But when the consciousness is reflected on the mind, it morphs or modifies or wrongly identifies with the mind and forgets its original nature, which is Sat Chit Ananda. This reflected consciousness is called as Chidabhasa in Vedanta. All our sadhana is to recognize that I am the pure consciousness. This cannot be done physically. This has to be done at the mental plane only. A good example for Chidabhasa can be the reflection in the mirror. Now, to see my face, I have to use a mirror. Here, the mirror can be taken as the mind and face as the consciousness. The reflected face in the mirror is Chidabhasa. Is this reflected face in the mirror original? No. The original face is this. But if I think that face is original and I behave and act accordingly, then that is the error. If I remove the mirror, does this original face also go away? No, my original face is always there. It doesn't need a mirror at all to know its presence. In fact, when the mind is dormant, I remain as the pure consciousness all by myself. This is the sadhana all about. In Vedanta, Guruji always gives a beautiful example of a dark room. When we enter a dark room, we cannot see any things there. Then when somebody asks about is there a chair, I will say no because I cannot see it. But when someone asks, are you there? Immediately I will say, yes, I am there. But Here I may say that, okay, because I am there because of my body. My body is there. No, it's because of me, the consciousness. The body is there and I am there because of this consciousness only. That is again an error in the understanding, which needs to be corrected. Whatever the body undergoes, pain, suffering, etc., we think that it's happening to us. The mind also is nothing but bundle of thoughts, and in a day we get around 70,000 thoughts, and we identify with each thought and go through the ups and downs of life. In reality, the body is undergoing the change, mind is undergoing the change. Everything is changing continuously, but nothing is happening to the witness, which is observing all these. It is the Sakshi or the witness consciousness. Recognizing that I am the witness consciousness, Sakshi, awareness, Brahman is our eternal purpose of life. Our Sadguru has given a Maha Mantra. Nanu nanembudu nanalla, ee deha manabuddhi nanalla, Sachidananda Atma Shivananu nane, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am not the body, mind, or intellect, but I am the pure consciousness. To recognize I am the witness consciousness would be the first step, because still I may have a lot of impressions and Chitta Shuddhi has not happened. As I continue with the practices, I remain as pure consciousness. The difference between witness consciousness and pure consciousness is that in witnessing, there is a subject object. Finally, the subject object also will be dissolved or dropped into pure consciousness. Is this so easy as said and done? Yes and no. Yes, because if you are a matured seeker with a purified mind through Karma Yoga, then it happens instantly, of course, under the guidance of a realized, enlightened Sadguru, Master. And it's a no because if the seeker is still not ready and is very strongly attached to the body, mind, intellect, and with a lot of karmic impressions, then one has to do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana vigorously, continuously. Here again, the grace of Sadguru plays a major role. None of us know how much of karmic baggage we carry and how long it will last. Devotion, trust, and surrender will take us to realization. Okay, now a question may come as to how do I know if I am the witness, or my mind only is saying that because I am using the same mind to witness also, right? This is the common question which all of us as seekers get in the beginning of our sadhana. Yes, it is the same mind through which all this happens. Manayeva karanam Ushanam Vandamokshayo. Do we have to use the same mind only to realize our true nature, true self? Let us see how we can do that. All of us have heard the term introspection. What does it mean? It is observing the thoughts. It's a practice. The mind can watch itself, but this practice has a beginning and an end. I may choose to do it or not. What begins and ends, what chooses to do or not to do, is not the witness consciousness. Suppose, even while you're not doing introspection, you touch a hot object and you say, ouch. Do you really think and practice to say this? No. It comes instantaneously. This is the witness consciousness. In the mind, one thought can observe the other thought. When the mind is outward, it's the witness which is observing everything. Then the mind comes back and claims it. As said earlier, through Drishya Viveka, when you are able to separate the seer and the seen in the mind, a breakthrough is also made by the mind. Once the breakthrough is done, it points to something beyond the mind, which is always there. There is no trying to know that. We don't know it, yet that not knowing is in the mind. Knowingness also will come in the mind, removing the ignorance. I remain as the witness of the mind which I always was, I imperfect. Then we may get a question. What happens in the deep sleep? In deep sleep, mind is in the dormant state. So only witnessing is happening. I am witnessing thought also is not there. If you have, then it's the mind game. For example, all of us as mothers, we know very well. When the child is sleeping, then we go on tell the child. Some name is there. You can say, if you are sleeping, then the right toe will move. The right toe moves. Means what? Is the child asleep? No, it's an act. I would also like to take the reference of Swami Vidyaranya's Panchadashi here. Swami used the term Nataka Deepika to witness consciousness. In earlier days, people used to do stage shows and spotlighting. We used to show the characters of the drum. This spotlighting is called Nataka Deepika. And this Nataka Deepika throws light upon the artists irrespective of their characters or roles. Whoever comes, if Rama comes, it will light up. If Ravana comes, it will light up. It doesn't judge, it doesn't stop. It continuously keeps on lighting up the stage. And it is separate from that character also. Similarly, the witness consciousness is lighting up the body, mind, intellect. Happiness, joy, sorrow, pain, etc. All these are happening to the body, mind, intellect. The body, mind, intellect is powered by the witness consciousness. I have to realize that I am the witness consciousness, lighting up this body, mind, intellect by dropping my wrong identification with the body, mind, intellect. I would also like to quote one verse from the text Drigdrishya Viveka by Sri Shankaracharya, verse 1. Rupam drishyam lochanam drig tadrishyam driktu manasam drishyadhi vrittaya sakshi drig eva natu drishyate. This is a beautiful verse. Drigdrishya Viveka, as already we have discussed about this Drigdrishya Viveka, how the seer seen the discrimination is done. So this also says the form is perceived and the I is the perceiver. And this I is perceived and mind is the perceiver. Mind with its modification is perceived and the witness, the self, is verily the perceiver. But the witness is not perceived by any other. The self is the ultimate seer because no other seer is known to exist. The knowing nature of the knower is never absent. I would like to read out a shloka from Bhagavad Gita 9.18. Katir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasaha Sharanam Sahrat Prabhavah Pralayah Sthanam Nidanam Bijamavyayam. I am the supreme goal of all living beings, and I am also the sustainer, master, witness, abode, shelter, and friend. I am the origin, end, and resting place of creation. I am the repository and eternal seed. I would like to read the commentary of this particular shloka, Bhagavad Gita 9.18. Since the soul is a tiny part of God, its every relationship is with Him. However, in bodily consciousness, we look upon the relatives of the body as our father, mother, beloved child, and friend. We become attached to them and repeatedly bring them to our mind, thereby getting further bound in the material evolution. But none of them, none of these worldly relatives can give us the perfect love that our soul yearns for. This is for two reasons. Firstly, these relationships are temporary and separation is unavoidable when either they or we depart from the world. Secondly, even as long as they are alive, the attachment is based on selfishness and it is so fluctuating. It is in direct proportion to the extent by which self-interest is satisfied. Thus, the range and intensity of worldly love varies from moment to moment throughout the day. My husband is so nice, so and so, blah blah blah. It changes. My husband is bad. So, this is the extent of fluctuation of love in the drama of the world. On the other hand, God is such a relative who has accompanied us lifetime after lifetime, from birth to birth, in every life form that we went to. God accompanied us and remained seated in our heart. He is thus our relative. In addition, He has no self-interest from us. He is perfect and complete in Himself. He loves us selflessly. He only desires our eternal welfare. Thus, God alone is our perfect relative who is both eternal and selfless. To understand this concept from another perspective, consider the analogy of an ocean and the waves that emerge. Two neighboring waves in the ocean flow together sometime and they play mindfully with each other, creating the impression that they have a very deep relationship between them. However, after traveling some distance, one subsides into the ocean and shortly after the other does the same. Did they have any relationship between themselves? No, they were both born from the ocean and their relationship was with the ocean itself. Similarly, God is the ocean and we are like waves who have emanated from Him. We create attachments amongst our bodily relations only to leave everyone upon death and journey alone into the next birth. The truth is that souls are not related to each other but to God, from whom they have all emanated. In this verse 9.18, Sri Krishna tells us about bodily consciousness and its naturally accompanying attachment to worldly relatives. From the platform of the soul, God alone is all our relationships. He is our father, mother, sister, brother, beloved, and friend. This theme is reiterated in all the Vedic scriptures. I would also like to quote one more Bhagavad Gita shloka 13.23. Upadrishtanumantacha varta bhota maheshwarah paramatmeti chapyukto dehe yasmin purusha. Within the body also resides the Supreme Law. He is said to be the witness, the permitter, the supporter, transcendental enjoyer, the ultimate controller, and the Paramatma, Supreme Soul. We can also try to understand like this. All of us are breathing. Both prana and breath are energies. Subtle breath is prana. Subtle prana is mind. Subtle mind is buddhi. Subtle buddhi is consciousness. So, as we go more and more subtler the truth is evident. At the end, what did we learn? Not the body, mind, or intellect, but pure consciousness. Let us not get confused again and again as to whether witness consciousness is different from pure consciousness. In witness consciousness, witnessing is happening and there is a witness. When one transcends this, then it is pure consciousness, beyond name and form, beyond subject object, one with a no second, Advaita. To sum up, the essence of all Vedantic teachings is Tattvam Asi. You are that. But I should get this teaching from a realist master to understand who this you here means. Here, you is not the body, mind, or intellect. It's the witness consciousness pointing to the pure consciousness, awareness. A simple self-inquiry method of who am I also will help us to understand this, but it has to be done under the guidance of a master only. The Vedantic teachings are available through various scriptures, but a master's guidance is needed to realize the truth. Our Prabhuji always tells in a lighter note. Jesus said, love thy neighbor. If I do not understand this properly, I may try to go and love my neighbor. The good or the essential meaning of any spiritual teaching is being understood properly. To make this understanding better, Vedanta gives neti, not this, prakriya. What does this mean? Let us start from the body. I am able to see my body just like I see my phone or my spectacles. So I am different from my body. And so I am not the body. Like this, if we go on negating everything, then telling that whatever we see, we are not that. Finally, we come to that one who knows all this, the one who observes all this, the one who is witnessing all this, that is the witness consciousness. And I am that. How does this help in our lives? I'll take my own example. I had a heated argument with my husband some time back, and I was completely involved in it as a wife. I am right. This kind of attitude and the ego at the top. I could sense that that fight was making me feel insulted and hurt. By then, I had just started Prabhuji's classes, and then I tried to apply the teachings. I am not the body, mind, intellect. It is all happening at the mind level. Believe it or not, it made me to calm down immediately. I sat silently as a witness, and I could not continue with that argument at all. At that time, maybe it was like remembering and applying, but as we go along this path, it becomes instant. You need to remember, I am that I am. If I have to quote the reference from the life of Vedantic, the best I can quote is Sri Ramana Maharshi underwent a surgery for cancer. And when they did the surgery, they did not give him anesthesia. So someone asked Ramana Maharshi, is there a pain? And Ramana Maharshi said, yes, the body has a pain. He was so clear that he is different from the body and pain is happening at the body. What more proof do we need for being a witness? I will end this from the quote of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Without the witness consciousness, becomes unconsciousness. Just living the witness. Witness is latent in every state of consciousness. Just like light in every color, there can be no knowledge without the knower and no knower without his witness. Not only you know, but you know that you know. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. We are all very fortunate to get a Sadguru in this lifetime to pursue on this wisdom path. Gratitude to the Sadguru and one and all. Thank you. Hari Om.